There was a moment online where everyone agreed your life is a movie.
Act like it.
As is the almighty power of social media, it worked. People started leaving relationships that made them feel miserable.
I think you can't wait for someone to fly underneath you and save your life. I think you have to save yourself.
They started dressing how they actually wanted to dress.
You're the main character in your own life, so start dressing like it.
Wear the outfit. You know, the one that you're like, I'd really like to wear this, but I'll be overdressed. I'd really like to wear this, but I'll be the most extra person in the room. Wear it.
They stopped apologizing for being their authentic selves. For a while, main character energy simply meant that you started living like you mattered. It meant investing in yourself, caring for yourself, and regaining control over your life that you had outsourced to other people. But later, the social media wind blew and the energy shifted. At some point, many of us stopped acting like the main character in our own lives and started treating other people like they were just cast in our movie out of convenience. Let's go ahead and do a second take in case this wasn't already obvious in the intro. I'm not here to argue that main character energy was a bad idea. And to be clear, it didn't start as arrogance. It started as empowerment. You, right there. You. Go on and romanticize your life a little. Walk a little slower. Enjoy the scenery. Enjoy being exactly who you are right now. You can have the desire and ability to improve while still embracing and loving yourself just as you are in this moment. It was basically the people pleasers corner of the internet reacting to years of having felt like they couldn't take up space, like they couldn't ever be selfish, or that the focus always had to be on everyone else's happiness and comfort. The skies parted, the social media gods spoke, the algorithm obeyed. We all got the message delivered to us as soon as we opened TikTok or Instagram.
You're the main character of your life, and you need to act like that. You need to stop letting other people define your happiness and your mood.
Juliet, trust me, you'll be better off alone. Stop waiting for somebody else's love. Who needs a prince when you're already a queen? Write your own story, 'cause baby, you are the lead.
If someone is telling you you think you're the main character, take that as a compliment. Any successful, happy person will tell you that they are the main character of their life. Prioritizing yourself is the biggest form of self-love.
And what I'm saying here, I mean sincerely. For many people, this was a very healthy and very important message to receive. Absolutely okay for someone to decide, I am not the co-star of my own movie. The problem is that even important and healthy messages can get picked up and distributed by the wrong people. Or they can simply just be taken way too far by someone who decides to make a social media trend their whole ass personality.
Everything is attracted to me because I'm attracted to me. That's how you gotta think. I literally get things sent to me, given to me, like the whole world just loves me. Literally, because I love me. I'm so obsessed with myself that the entire world is obsessed with me, because that's literally the vibration I live on. I am my biggest fan. I am my biggest lover. I am my biggest cheerleader. I am the whole thing. I am the most beautiful woman to me. I'm the most beautiful person. There's only me in the whole wide world.
Eventually, main character energy stopped meaning I matter and I deserve to be happy, and changed its definition to
I matter more than the context I exist in. I am more important than everyone else.
First, it showed up as confidence. Then it became aesthetic control. Later, it was content. Now it is showing up as entitlement.
Swear to God, at the latest, it was 11:16 that I was in her chair. At the very fucking latest, okay? Not that that matters, you would think, but it does. And so she sits me down in her chair, offers me water, brushes my hair, asks me what I want. I show her the inspo picture. The vibes are like, and like just not great customer service, right? And then she's like, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I can cut your hair in an hour 15. And then she says that like she doesn't want to rush it and like do a bad job, which is fair. And then she's like, and that's not fair to my other client at 12:30. I don't know what to say to that. Like,
we've got people out here narrating their lives like a voiceover is required at all times. It's not just that you're the star character of your movie anymore. It's that you're the star character of everyone else's movie too. Once you start living like everything is a movie scene, people stop being people. They become background characters, extras. That damn barista who didn't smile enough in your storyline.
I work at a local coffee shop and just had the most entitled customer interaction of my entire life. This woman, maybe late 40s, comes in 10 minutes before closing and orders this super complicated drink. Half calf, oatmeal, extra hot, 2 pumps of vanilla, 1 pump hazelnut, light foam, and in a for here mug. Fine, whatever. I make it exactly how she asks. She takes 1 sip and immediately says it's wrong. Says it's not hot enough even though the steam was literally visible. I offer to remake it and she goes, well, I don't have time now. I have to get to my yoga class. So I'm like, okay, sorry about that. Have a good night. And she just stares at me. Finally, she goes, aren't you going to offer me a refund or a free drink card? I explained that company policy is we can remake drinks, but we can't do refunds if the drink was made correctly, which it was.
A stranger who ruined your vibe by casually walking into the frame while you were filming.
Sorry. Fuck my life. Fuck me. Anyways.
An unwillingness to grow, to learn, to adapt. Because why should you? After all, you're the star. This is where it goes from main character energy to main character syndrome. This isn't a clinical thing. It's not a diagnosis. It's an internet phrase, but it describes something real enough that you will recognize it when you see it.
So for the 3rd time today, I've seen a video made by 3 different people where it's like, oh, if you don't like my stuff, but you view it, you're a hater. And I don't know if I'm like misunderstanding the context, but I think that is really exhausting and just a miserable way to live. Because first of all, like they're following you and they're viewing your stuff. That is support. And just because somebody follows you doesn't mean they have to like all of your stuff. Sometimes you're going to make content that doesn't appeal to them, and that's also okay. But I think the bigger issue here is this like expectation of this like obligatory friendship. Like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
We really are the main characters in our own stories. And that's okay, but we have to remember that we're not the main character in everyone else's story. I say that because I was watching a video on TikTok. It's a funny video of this guy he's on a weight loss journey, and he is consistent that he now wears a size 2T, and I love that for him. But a lady came under his post and was like, are you actually losing weight? Or is this just funny content at this point? And he said, you know what, I'm down 45 pounds and I'm still losing. And then she was like, oh, well, I would like to see more of your process because, you know, that's what motivates me, not this funny stuff. It's not his responsibility to motivate you.
Main character syndrome is what happens when your emotional experience becomes the center of reality, not just in your own life, but in your entire environment around you. So instead of, I had a difficult interaction with somebody today, it becomes,
they disrespected me.
Instead of, my friend is really busy, it becomes,
they're not showing up for me.
Instead of, this didn't turn out the way that I would have liked, it becomes,
the universe is testing me.
Because with all the poverty, starving children, crimes around the world, widespread illness and disease, the universe has nothing else to do but to just focus on you and test you. The unfortunate part is that social media rewards this. Oh my God, you're such a hypocrite. You're on here doing the same exact thing, making a video about it. You're right. I am on the internet talking about the internet. The goal for me isn't to pretend I'm separate from it. However, I'm not performing the behavior. I'm looking at why this is trending, why it gets rewarded, and what it ultimately does to us over time. I think a big reason why this is being rewarded, liked, shared, talked about is because the most emotionally centered version of a story is often the most engaging. The most dramatic interpretation spreads faster than the accurate one.
So I had to go grab my coffee. I'm in line. It's going quick. Everyone's going to school, going to work. I'm like, wow, you guys are in society. Is this what people do? He pops out. I'm ready to go start my trek back home. And then I'm like, wait, where's the straw? Don't want to make a big deal. I'm panicking. The line's already filled back up. There's no way to get to the straw at the register.
Slowly but surely, people learn. If it feels smaller, more based, it performs worse. That creates a feedback loop where your life doesn't have to just feel meaningful. It has to feel like a Hollywood movie constantly.
Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on here really quickly and share that I'm going through some stuff right now, and I'm not gonna be able to post my Fashion Nova and Shein haul tomorrow like I had planned. It's killing me right now that I can't. Sometimes life just gets lifey, And I promise you that I will eventually tell you what I'm going through. I will eventually tell you what I'm going through. I will eventually tell you. I just don't know when. Check my YouTube and
I don't think most people wake up and randomly decide one day, I am the protagonist and everyone else is optional or convenience. I think it probably happens in smaller steps. You start documenting your life, then you start interpreting your life through documentation. You start to get excited over the likes, the affirming comments, the validation all the time. From there, you start optimizing your life for documentation. Eventually, there's a gap between what took place in reality and what it will sound like when you recount the story. That gap is where main character syndrome lives.
You're lonely, or at least you're lonelier than you would have been 50 years ago. We all know the loneliness epidemic is on the rise. The internet fosters online relationships over in-person and separates us from a real-world environment. New generations struggle to make meaningful in-person connection when they grow accustomed to online interaction. But how do we cope with that isolation? Well, we make it worse. Trends like being the main character, everyone else is a side character, or phrases like no one is coming to save you, only show the disconnect from our community around us and heightened sense of self-importance as a result. You see, people don't start off feeling like the main character. Often it actually starts with feelings of being different, isolated, and generally not fitting in, things that are usually the direct result of the loneliness media consumption causes. But these people will separate themselves further from the real world by dubbing themselves the main character to explain their difference. And they turn to niche online communities to validate their newfound narcissistic tendencies, which separates them even more from the real world. And this main character trope is always depicted in movies where the main character is a slight social reject and it's good for the plot, and in the end they prevail and get the girl or win the big school talent show. And in movies, it works. But your complex human life unfortunately doesn't have the simplicity or lack of dimension as a Netflix original. Difference is, you biologically and evolutionarily need a community around you. And niche online subgroups don't cut it. But these people who already deal with chronic loneliness consume all of this content online that promotes self-importance. So to avoid feeling shunned by society, they place themselves above it.
In real life, most moments are just a mix of ambiguous, boring, or neutral. But in content creation, they need shape, just like a movie. And movies need meaning. They need a villain. They need a revenge angle, a lesson, a transformation arc, a plot twist, even when life didn't really give you one. I don't think that the answer is to completely reject main character energy. There's nothing wrong with wanting your life to be meaningful or prioritizing your health and happiness. The issue is when meaning starts requiring an audience. I think the goal was just to develop your confidence to a point where you feel comfortable and happy with who you are, regardless if you receive validation for it or not. You can absolutely be a main character. Just don't forget that other people are a main character in their own life. The healthiest version of this entire trend might be the least cinematic one. A life that doesn't need to be scripted to matter. It just needs to be lived in a way that matters to you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If it resonated with you at all, if it made you think about this trend, tell me your thoughts in the comments, like, share, subscribe so that we can hang out some more. And I will see you again in the next video.